Hey guys, it's Melissa here from melissaopen.com. Welcome to Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness, a daily podcast devoted to spirituality and self-help. If you're new, I want to welcome you. If you're returning, welcome back. So today I want to talk to you all about setting clear intentions for 2021 and getting yourself ready to have a year that is full of blessings and leaving behind things that we don't want to bring with us into the new year. New Year's Eve is an interesting time of year because everyone gets together. And I know last year we were all like, 2020 is going to be my year. And I've seen Facebook posts joking like, nobody say 2021 is going to be my year. Just come in quietly, sit down, and don't cause any trouble. And I understand how everybody feels because 2020 has been a roller coaster for sure, for a lot of people. I don't think there's been anyone that has gone a little bit unscathed by 2020. It just was quite a year. And there are a lot of reasons for that. But we're walking into 2021 now. And if 2020 wasn't your year, it's okay. We've got a new year coming in, and it's a new chance for new beginnings. I always find it interesting, though, how everyone gets together to do their New Year's resolutions, right? Like, oh, what are we going to do for next year? What do I want to have? And we kind of make fun of that because for most of us, we set a resolution that we forget about January 2nd. We set it on the 31st, and on the 1st, like, yes, my new year, and I set my New Year's resolution, and then the second day, it's like, what resolution? We just forget about it. But it doesn't have to be that way. Even though we've kind of made a joke about New Year's resolutions, I do think that there is some value in setting goals for the next year. So I want to talk to you about setting your intentions for the coming year and letting go of what didn't work for you in 2020. You know, most of us just think about what we want to do that's better in the next year, but we also forget about the fact that there might be some things we need to let go of from the previous year. As a teacher, one of the things that I've gotten into the habit of doing is reflecting on my lesson and my day. And I used to have an hour drive home every day from work. And so I had plenty of time to reflect and say, okay, what went well? What did not go well? Is there a way that I can make that better? Can I tweak it? Or do I just need to throw it out completely because it didn't help me whatsoever and it just confused my students and it wasn't a good lesson? And it's okay to do that. I think there are teachers who think, oh no, I have to keep doing the same lesson because it's in my lesson plans. And that to me has always been the most baffling thing because if you know it didn't work, why would you just keep doing it? It's like banging your head against the wall. So if I come across a lesson and I do it first hour and it didn't seem like it went very well, I'll completely change it for the next hour. I have no problem doing that. You know, you have a 5-minute passing period. That's enough time to tweak something or to completely throw it out and do something else. I mean, why keep doing the same thing if you know it's not working? So for me, a year end is the same way. It's like we look back at, did it go well? Well, what went well? What didn't go well? Is that something I can just tweak or is that something I just need to completely get rid of? So when we're setting our intentions for the coming year, I don't want you to just think about what you want to see coming in. I want you to think about the things you're doing that aren't working and how you can change that. So what can you change in your life? First of all, I think a big problem for many of us is that we don't even have very clear intentions for our life. We just go about our routine from day to day. We might think of something we'd like to have, but that's about it. Most of us don't really have very clear intentions for our lives. We just don't take the time to do that. So I think one of the things you really need to do is get clear on what it is that you do want in your life. Because most of the time we focus on what we don't want and we're focusing on the lack there. So if you don't want to focus on the lack, you've got to know what you want and you've got to know what you're asking to come into your life. So think about, what do you want your life to look like 1 year from now? If you could look back on January 1st, 2022 and look back and say, oh, this was my year of 2021. What did it look like? Don't pick just a resolution. Instead, we want to pick things that will actually change our lives, that become habits, that we're more likely to keep, because resolutions we do not keep. So you've got to look at, what did I want my year to look like? What do I want in the coming year? And get very clear on that. And one of the ways you can do to get clear on that is you can ask yourself some questions and do some journaling to really figure out, what do you want your life to look at? Because then I say that that's such a broad question. And I say, what do you want your life to look like? And you might say, oh, I want to marry my dream partner and live in my dream house and my dream city with my dream job. But what does that mean? What does that actually mean? Because that's great. That's very vague. So do you even know what your clear intentions are? So some things you can ask yourself, reflect back on 2020. And you know what? I know sometimes it's painful to look backwards, and you often hear me telling you, don't look backwards because it'll cause resentment and guilt and all of these things. For the purpose of this, I think it's important to reflect. And it's important to look back on your year and say, what went well? Just like that lesson plan idea, what went well? You know what? I really had an awesome time meeting new friends, and I made a new circle of friends, and that was really awesome in 2021. So maybe I want more of that. What went well? Oh, I got a great job and I love it, and I would like for things to keep going successfully in that job. What was it about 2020 that went well? And you can't say nothing, because I know there's some of you who are tempted to say there was nothing. You can find a little bit of positivity in everything. So what went well this year? What was great about 2020? And again, you might have to dig deep to find it, but there are some great things about 2020. For me, I got to write a book and publish a book. That was cool. That was very cool. I met a lot of new people that I did podcast interviews with. That was very cool. I saw an increase in my business and growth, and that was awesome. Yeah, there were some tragedies, but I had a lot of positive things happen too. So ask yourself, what went well? And write down all the things that you can think of in 2020 that went well. And as you're writing them down, also maybe throw a little gratitude towards the universe for giving you those things that went well. Thank you, universe, that I was able to publish a book that was awesome. And that was one of my manifestations, and I got to cross it off my list. Very cool. Also, then we have to look at what didn't go as well. What didn't go as planned? For me, I had planned this amazing summer vacation that we never got to take, and I didn't like that. So in 2021, I'm hoping we can at least take a very nice vacation. That's one of the things I want to manifest. Now, it might not seem like a big deal, but we have needed rest and relaxation, and that's one of my goals, is to try to do that and to try to use that time to also spend more quality time with my kids. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's one of the things I want to manifest in 2021. And as you look back and you think about why, what didn't go well? Why didn't it go well? And, for me, I could say, well, we had a pandemic, but that wasn't really the only reason. I allowed life to overwhelm me to the point that we could have done a little weekend getaway, and I kept saying, we're going to do it, we're going to do it. I let that time pass me by. And that's my own problem, my own fault. I need to be more action-oriented when it comes to planning the vacation, doing the vacation. I can't just be like, yeah, let's do this and be all talk. I've got to actually take action. So why didn't my goal or plan go as well as I had intended? What happened? That's a good part about reflection, is we have to look back at why, because maybe there was a lesson in there for me. Maybe there was a life lesson in why that didn't go as planned. And then how can I change my behaviors and stick to them, stick to my habits? So if maybe planning my vacation didn't go as planned was because I was more in the planning and not the doing stage, maybe I need to not procrastinate so much with certain things. And maybe I need to take better care of myself so I don't get so overwhelmed with everything that's happening in life. There's a lesson there somewhere. So why didn't it go as planned? And how can I change my behavior? So when you look at the why, that sort of helps you to change the behavior. Like, oh, okay, I didn't lose weight last year like I wanted to because I didn't set aside time to take care of myself. I need to make myself a priority. I need to set healthier boundaries and tell other people no so that I can make time for myself, and that way I can work on my goal. And then I need to positively reinforce myself when I do something that I said I was going to do, like when I go work out. I need to really give myself some good positive affirmations for doing that, because it's hard to change and create a healthier habit. So I'm doing an awesome job and I need to reward myself for that. So really, how are we going to change the behavior so that it sticks? And then how can you really refine the habit so that you keep doing it? And what really a lot of studies have shown is that what causes us to really keep a habit is that positive reinforcement. So the hard thing is you have to give it to yourself, but you can do it. You know, when you start changing your behavior and seeing that you're changing your behavior, reward yourself for that. And a reward can be something very simple like, oh, you know what? I saw a shirt I really liked and I've been doing so well and sticking to my goals, and I'm going to buy it for myself. Or I'm going to take an hour and I'm going to go run a really hot bath with some Epsom salts and essential oils and play some relaxing music and just take a little me time. Whatever it is that rewards you, do that. Because when we keep positively rewarding ourselves for the victories, and they can be very small, you can say maybe, oh, I did 10 crunches today. You know what? That's a step toward your goal. So reward yourself for that. And most people think, well, I'm going to reward myself with food. You know, that sort of can lead into a bad habit. So when you're rewarding yourself, make it something that's really going to make you feel really good and is healthy. So reward yourself with buying a book that you've always wanted to read, or going to the movies, or doing something that's just really going to make you feel good. I'm all about that. Also, who do you want to be? What is the type of person that you want to be? And so when you define who it is that you want to be in your life, then everything you do in your life becomes about supporting being that person. So if someone asks you, hey, do you want to do this? Think to yourself, does this support the life I want to live? Oh, it does? Okay, then yeah, sure, I'll do it. And no, it doesn't. It would not make me happy. Then no, thank you. I'm moving on. You know, we don't have to be mean, but that is a good way to help us eliminate, like, what do we want in our life and what do we not want? Because we're doing a lot of things sometimes that don't support, these things do not support a life that we want to live. And we really have to get into the habit of not doing that. We have to get in the habit of asking, does this support the life that I want to live? And if it does, great. If it doesn't, why are you doing it? Because again, it's kind of like beating your head against the wall. Also, set an intention for when and where you're going to do the things you're going to do that are going to take you towards your goal. For example, if you want to write a book, you know, and you just say to yourself, I'm going to write every day. I'm going to do this. That will leave you to be less likely to actually do it. But if you say, okay, every day at 3:00, I'm going to set aside a half an hour or an hour or 15 minutes, however long you decide, to continue writing my book. Then you're setting a clear goal as, okay, I am doing it for a half an hour. I'm doing it at this time. And you're sort of making yourself become accountable for this goal. And it's easier to do. So if you say, I want to lose weight, you know, I'm going to join a gym, then make sure you're joining a gym that is going to be easily accessible to you and that will be not out of your way, because sometimes we do things like we join a gym that's 20 minutes away and you're like, you don't ever go because you're like, I don't really want to drive 20 minutes away. Make sure it's easy and it's accessible to you. You don't even need to join a gym. You can work out at home. You know, that's what I have to do is I will say, okay, I'm going to work out when I get up in the morning. I'm going to work out for an hour. I'm going to pick a Zumba class, or I'm going to do some free weights, or, I decide what I'm going to do. And I just go to YouTube and I find my video and then I do the workout. Or sometimes I'll say, I'm going to work out right before I go to bed because then it makes me really tired and I'm ready for bed and I feel more relaxed. Pick a time that you're going to do it. And then maybe say, I'm going to do this 3 days a week, or whatever your goal is. Whatever you think you can stick to. Don't make it impossible for yourself and be like, every morning I'm going to get up and jog for 5 hours, because then you won't do it. We'll wake up and go, I don't want to do this. You'll already dread it. But make it something simple, maybe I'm going to get up and work out for 30 minutes each morning. And if it's 30 minutes, you can do 30 minutes. Or maybe start off every other morning, whatever. Make it a goal you can stick to. Whatever it is, it's going to help you to really stay focused and to live the life that you want. For me, sometimes with business, I have to say, okay, on Mondays at this time, I'm going to work on my social media planning for the whole week. And then I take that time to do that. On this day at this time, I'm going to do my podcast. I'm going to record my podcast, because then it holds me accountable and I actually do it. So get clear. Set the intentions you want. I like writing them down, and there's a couple of reasons I like to write them down. Number one is so that I have something that holds me accountable that's in writing. And number two, I like to go back and see what I've accomplished and cross it off, and it's a great feeling. Like, oh, yeah, write a book. Okay, did that. Yeah, start a podcast, did it. I'm just being a little bit sarcastic, but you get the idea. It's a good feeling to go back and see everything you can cross off the list, and it makes you feel like you've accomplished something, and you'll be really surprised how much you actually can get accomplished. Make a plan on how you're going to get there. Develop some sort of system to help you do it. Maybe if you work out or you want to lose weight, maybe you have a partner. Maybe you have someone who keeps you accountable. Like, my friend and I are going to do this, and she calls me every morning to make sure I got up and we work out at the same time. Something like that would help. And now also, looking back at your life, what do we not want to take with us into 2021? For me, I'd like to leave the fear and the worry about everything behind. 2020 brought up so many fears and doubts and worries for me, and I want to leave all that behind. So maybe trusting the universe a little bit more. Maybe I write that down as one of my goals. And how do I get to that goal? How do I learn how to trust the universe more and get rid of the worries and the fear? Well, I look back on the tools that I use to help me get rid of the worry and the fear. And some of those tools are tappings, the EFT tapping, meditation. For me, even sometimes it's affirmations and saying little prayers and just saying, I know I'm out of alignment, universe, please help me to get back into alignment. So I'm going to let those things go, and they're not coming with me into 2021. And some people like to do special ceremonies and that for the new year. That's awesome if you do. You don't have to do something like that. But what I like to do is I have 2 lists. I have my list of things that I want to manifest and see in 2021. And then I have the list of things I don't want to bring with me into the new year. So what I do is I write my list, and then I just send my intentions out into the universe. I just say, dear universe, higher power, whatever you want to call it, my entire spiritual team. These are the things that I am hoping to manifest in 2021. These are the things that I will see in my life. And then these are the things that I am releasing to you. And then I take the list of things that I've been doing that I don't want to take with me, like the worrying and the fearing and the doubting and all of that. I take it and I say, these are the things I do not want to bring with me into 2021. And then I usually burn my list, because to me, burning it is symbolic of I'm giving it back to the universe. I'm putting it out there. This is no longer mine. You can tear it up. You can just crumple it up. You can do whatever you want to do with it. It's more symbolically for you than anyone else. So do whatever you will with that list of things you're not bringing. But we're not doing this anymore. Okay, we can't be the people we want to become if we keep doing the same things over and over again. So we're going to leave that list behind, and we're going to focus now on how do we live the life we want? How do we manifest the things that are on this list that I want to see happen for 2021? And come up with the plan. what first step can you take? Because, people talk about manifesting, and I love manifesting, and there's so many cool things about it. But some people are like, well, I just manifest this and then I don't do anything with it. And that's not really how manifesting works. You do actually have to take some steps towards it. Putting your energy towards what you want to manifest is how the universe matches our energy. So how can you take small steps every day towards the goals that you have? That's another thing that you need to be thinking about so that you can put those small things into place. Because again, when you do those little things every day and then you praise yourself for doing them, that's how things become a habit. Just like you've acquired the bad habits, the good ones can also be acquired through practice. So if you normally don't get enough sleep because you go to bed late every night, maybe giving yourself a goal of, I'm going to turn off the TV and the phone and everything 20 minutes before I go to bed, and I'm going to go to bed at this time instead of much later. Whatever it is, those things can become habits that help you every day. For me personally, I have been taking more vitamins, which I had not done before. I just got out of the habit of doing it and just never did. And then with all of the COVID scare, everything that happened, I was like, no, I need to start taking more vitamins. So I've made it a habit of every day after I eat, I go and I get my vitamins and I take them, and I haven't forgotten one day yet. And I know it's because I've set this intention that this is my goal, is to be a little healthier. And I need to do that by taking these vitamins. So whatever it is, little things you can do each day to help with that. And then if you want to do your ceremony where you have your list of intentions for 2021 and your list of things you don't want to take with you, that is awesome to do that. And I highly recommend doing that, because it will make you feel empowered too. Like, yes, I am going to take steps to make 2021 really a good year for myself and see lots of positive shifts and changes in my life. And you deserve it. You are the best investment you will ever make. So do things, little small things, to really make it better for you. And one of the ways you can eliminate negative thoughts is by forming good habits. And in my class, Love Your Life, I teach you how to do that in a lot of ways. I teach you how to set up a daily routine so that you can live your best life and that you can make those changes. And when you do small things every day, you don't really notice that you're doing these things, but it makes a big difference, I tell you, you don't have to try to do everything all in one day. Make small changes each day, and after a while you look back and go, wow, those small changes added up to really big changes in a really cool way. And then when you look back at your year of 2021, you'll see how it went for you and be amazed at how much you were able to do and accomplish. And I hope that 2021 will be an awesome and amazing year for all of you out there. I have so many amazing things that I want to accomplish, so I'm excited for it. I wanted to pull a card for you guys before you left, just to give you a little guidance. And the card I pulled is from my deck, Divine Whispers, and it is called, What is Your Purpose? Are you living your true soul's purpose? The universe is asking you to reflect upon your true purpose in life. Most of us go through life never really discovering what our true purpose is. If you are seeing the number 999, then you are being guided by the universe to get to work on that purpose. If you are stuck in a job or a career that is unfulfilling, then it may be time to look at your life purpose again. There's an old saying that goes, when you find a job you love, you never have to work a day in your life. When you find your soul's true calling, it doesn't feel like difficult work. It will leave you feeling totally satisfied and fulfilled. Do that which sets your soul on fire, my love. The universe is counting on you. And there's a prayer here for your purpose. So if you are struggling to find your purpose, you can repeat this prayer with me. Also, think about taking an online course, or you can do a coaching session also to help you when finding your purpose. This angel prayer is to Archangel Chamuel. Dear Archangel Chamuel, thank you for working with me to help me discover my true life's purpose. Please illuminate the steps for me so that I know which path to choose. Please bring people into my life who can help me on my journey to discovering my purpose. Thank you for your unwavering support and protection. Amen. All right, guys, and if you want to work with me, I can help you to discover your purpose. I can help you get unstuck. I can help you in all areas of your life. If you want to book a coaching session with me, I offer one-on-one sessions that you can order in an hour or half hour or even packages. Those are all available on my website at melissaopen.com. You can go to my offerings page, and on the main offerings page, you can purchase any of my services, from my Divine Whispers card deck to my readings, past life regression, coaching, and also I have my courses there. My Love Your Life course, which is a course in learning how to love yourself more, which we can all use, definitely, especially in 2021. And also my Love Your Life course, which teaches you how to contact your angels, how to do daily affirmations, meditations and tappings, all of the tools that you will need to help you shift your life in major ways. And don't forget to follow me on social media. I go live Mondays at 6:30 Central on Facebook, where I do a free card reading. If you show up for the live, I will pull a card for you as well. Also, if you would like to purchase my book, Beautifully Broken, it is still available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Goodreads. All the links for my book are in the show notes to the podcast. You can also get the audiobook version. I know most people like to listen to that as they're driving in their car. I am a huge fan of audiobooks, so you can go and purchase that there. I hope that you guys have an amazing New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, that you are safe and spending it hopefully with friends and family, or at least making time for yourself to do some self-care and make it a great holiday for you. I will see you in the next year. Have an amazing week. I am sending you so much love and light, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.